about waiting, and I've covered waiting in many of my videos before, but this one is a little bit different because this one is specifically for people who know that they have health issues that would make it harder for them to obtain life insurance coverage. Well, really for anyone, actually. Waiting isn't good for anyone, but especially people who already know that it's harder for them to get the coverage. And I want to cover this topic because you all have heard me say a number of times that the days of being uninsurable are over. There's a policy out there for everyone. I can write a policy on anyone ages newborn on up that has any kind of health conditions, right? Well, we got word late last month that the company that I was able to do that with were getting rid of the guaranteed issue product, which means the product that doesn't ask any health questions. They were getting rid of that product starting officially December 5th. They were going to get rid of that product for ages 44 and under. So if you were under the age of 45, you would no longer be able to get that product, right? Which meant for clients 40 and under, because I have another company that I can write that product for that starts at age 40. However, they're just a tad bit more pricey than the company that said they were going to get rid of it starting at age 44 and under. So, I had a few people that were waiting. They needed such a policy, and they had, we've been discussing it for a while. They never got it. So I was able to get in contact with a few people like, look, they're getting rid of this product. It's only going to be for ages 45 and up. So you need to hurry up and get your policy in, your application in. So a couple people, they took advantage of it. They got their coverage in place before it was too late. So then the company decided that they were doing away with the product altogether for all ages. And I mean, it's really a sad thing for clients because that kind of product is rare and things change all the time. I remember when I first became an agent, not long after becoming an independent agent, there was this really good product. And the way it worked was that if you could answer no to just 2 health questions, and I believe the questions were, are you currently confined to a nursing facility? And have you been told by a doctor that you have less than 24 months to live? Something like that. If you could answer no to those 2 questions, you could get approved for the coverage. And the way it worked is that after year 1, 50% of the face amount was available to you. 50% of the death benefit was available to you. And after the second year, the other 50% was available. And it started at age 18 and up. And that was pretty good. Because even that is rare, right? So that was a really good product. I called the company. I was trying to get contracted with the company so that I could sell the product because I knew a lot of people who could benefit from that product. And the guy told me it's pointless because we're getting rid of it in a few days. And I was like, oh man, because that would have really been a good product for a lot of clients that I had, that had health conditions that made it harder for them to be insured, right? So after a little while, I found this company, Sons of Norway. Maybe I shouldn't have said the company name, but anyway, I didn't said it now. But so it was the company Sons of Norway. That was the company that was 0 to 85 or 87. They would insure anyone with any health condition, and it was a really good thing because that's rare. So they've decided that they're no longer going to do the policy for any ages. Now, if you have that policy already, if you're already one of their clients, you're good. Your coverage is, your policy is fine. They're not doing away with any policies for current clients. Now, I wouldn't let it lapse, though. I did call the company, because I wanted to know how this would impact the current clients. They said that, if you already have the coverage, I asked specifically 2 questions. What would happen if a client let the policy lapse? Would they allow them to do an application for reinstatement? Because if the policy, if the product is going away, in my mind, the company may not let you reinstate if you lapse, right? They said they would allow reinstatement. I wouldn't chance it personally. So if you have such a policy, if you have a policy with that company, whatever you do, try your darndest not to let that policy lapse, okay? Because right now they're saying that they'll allow reinstatement, but again, things change every day. My second question was, would they allow you to increase your coverage? You have coverage with a company and you can increase it. And so I asked them, would they allow clients to increase the current coverage they have now? They said no. So what they said was no. You can't increase it. You would have to apply for one of their other products, like their simplified issue products. So the way simplified issue products typically work, they're a step above, sometimes a few steps, depending on the company. They don't ask many health questions. The underwriting isn't as extensive. It's easier for you to get the product, and typically you don't have to do that 2-year. With the guaranteed issue policies, you have to outlive the policy by 2 years. With the simplified issue, it's typically day 1, and you don't have to wait the 2 years. So when they said no, they won't allow current clients to increase their coverage, but what they could do was apply for a simplified issue product. I started looking through their simplified issue underwriting guide just to see how simplified it was. And when I compare it to other companies, it's not very simplified at all. It's not very simplified at all. And it was very detailed. I can appreciate that from an agent standpoint. It was very detailed. It lets you know up front what conditions they, are a denial, what medications are a denial. And when I say that it's pretty strict, it's not very simplified. So again, this is the kind of thing that happens when people wait. So there's another company. I used to be with another company that will insure people ages 0 to 85. It's either 85 or 87, I can't remember, but they will insure people from 0 to 85ish without any health questions on a guarantee issue basis. And I was with them for a short while before I got with Sons of Norway. However, when I learned about Sons of Norway, I left them and I got with Sons of Norway because where most guaranteed issue policies, you have that 2 years that you have to outlive the policy. With this other company, you have 3 years. And I mean, I guess it's something is better than nothing. And if I have to go back with that company, I will, just for the population of clients who need that type of coverage. But I would prefer not to, because when you have a serious illness, maybe even a terminal type illness, or something that could, I'm just going to say a really serious illness, something that would really impact you being able to get day one coverage and insurance, that 2-year wait period can seem like a lot. You're like kind of like racing the clock, you know. You're like, oh, you know, God, please let me, you know, make it to the 2-year mark. Please let me make it to the 2-year mark. Or if you're, you know, if your family member is the one that has the coverage for you, they're like, please let them make it to the 2-year mark, right? So having to wait 3 years is really a gamble. I mean, and it's not really a gamble, because the way those companies are set up, if the person doesn't outlive the policy, all the money that was paid into the policy is returned, you know, is paid to your beneficiary. So you're not really losing any money. Plus they pay a little percentage on top of the money that you paid out. So you may get back all of the money that was paid into it plus like 5%. I think the highest that I've seen it was plus 10%. So you're not really losing any money, but it's just the fact that you won't get the face amount for anything that's considered natural causes after that, you know, until that wait period is up. And if you feel like 2 years is a long time, 3 years seems like an eternity, you know, when you're waiting for the full death benefit to kick in. You know, because those policies, they pay out day one for anything that's considered accidental, but having to wait 2 years, you know, will have someone on pins and needles. So 3 years feels like an eternity. So, and that's an example of why it's really not good to wait. And when I say, when I get on here or other agents, you know, speak about a product and we're really excited about it, people may think it's because, oh, you know, they're going to make money off the product. But when it comes to products like the guaranteed issue products, trust me when I tell you, we don't make a lot of money off of those policies. For one, the reason why the companies get rid of these products, because they're not making any money. That was the sole reason that the company is getting rid of it, because they really aren't making any money off the product. And if you think about it, right, the company is really insuring anyone regardless of their health conditions. So if a person outlives the policy by 2 years and they pass away at 2 years and 1 day, let's just say their monthly premium was $20 a month, right? $25 a month. And because the max on those type of policies are typically between 25 and 50,000. 50 is kind of rare. It's normally the max is like 25. But between 25 and 50,000. So you can't get a whole lot of coverage. Like most of them, it maxes out at 25. You can't get a whole lot of coverage. But so let's just say they live 2 years and 1 day. So the full death benefit kicks in. The person passes away. The company is paid $25,000. Well, if you're paying $20 a month for 2 years, that doesn't equal up to that $25,000 that they're paying out to the company, right? So they're taking on a full risk by insuring just anyone. And what happens was, you know, the people that first they're losing money to begin with, because even if you don't make it to the 2 years, they're not just giving you back what was paid into the policy, they're giving you a percentage on top of it, right? So that's the company not making any money right there. But then if you do make it past the 2 years, many clients don't make it much longer than the 2 years. Some, a good percentage, about 50-50, So the company isn't really making any money off the policy. And then they have to pay us agents. We get paid very little on those type of policies. I'm just going to be transparent right now. I think my commission for the company that no longer is offering a product, I think my commission for that product is about 55%, which is very low. I'm not going to tell you, what my commission is for all the rest of my companies, but it's a lot more than the 55%, I can tell you that. And we get paid on an as-earned basis, where the way it works is, depending on the way your contract is set up, and depending on the company, some companies are a little different. Agents get paid either 6, 9, and some companies rarely will pay you 12 months commission up front, right? When the policy is approved and the first payment is drafted, the agent typically gets anywhere between 6 months, 9 months, or 12 months advancement, right? With this company, with the guaranteed issue product, we get paid as earned. So that means when a client pays their monthly premium, we get paid monthly. After they make their monthly premium, we get paid, and we're only getting paid 55%. So let's just say the person is paying $25 a month. We're only getting 55% of that. That's not a lot. So we're really not excited about those type of policies because it's going to put so much money in our pocket. We're excited about those type of policies because they are really good for the client. Of course, we know many of clients that would otherwise be uninsurable, and when it's a product out there, and if they're not like really, really, really sick, where anything can happen. Your health can change in a second. But if they have a really good shot of making it past the 2 years, and we're able to get them in that policy and they make it past the 2 years, then they have the full death benefit available to them. That's good, because that's one more person we were able to get coverage for, and their family won't have to figure out how they're going to bury them. So we're excited because we know that such policies they're rare, for one, and they're really good for the client. So when you see an agent and they're really excited about something,